All right. Seeing that I am now actually recording, and it's like I said in my earlier stream, I am going to keep this 100% real. Why do I think Resident Evil 5 deserves a remake? Well, one, let's put in perspective here. Sheva, who is a black African female. We are looking at Chris, who is a white male. And
I'm back, smiling face with horns, smiling face with horns, smiling face with horns.
welcome back, Smile. You just caught me, and it's going to be a little bit of a rant, and yeah, but yeah, why, yeah, why do I feel like Resident Evil 5 deserves a remake? Because it shows the closeness between of what two races can actually become. Why do other YouTubers, and yeah, I see this a lot. Why do I feel like other YouTubers need to sit back in the back seat and just let Capcom do their thing? Well, first of all, this is Capcom's game, and when IGN posted it that it got a 9 out of 10, it got a 9 out of 10 for a reason. Because one, of the story, two, of its concept as far as combat, three, because of the artistic design, four, because of its diversity. Now, when I listen to some of these people and saying, well, you're shooting black zombies, what do you think's going to happen in Africa? What do you think's going to happen when they get, filled with your Boris and all this crap? You're going to kill zombies. And I've said this in many times in my videos in the past. Video games and zombies and video games do not have fucking feelings. You snowflake fucking shills. They are actors who are portraying these characters. Actors are paid to act the part. These actors who are acting as these people are not real people in the game, but yes, they are real people acting the part for a hit game.
Me personally, I'm more of a Silent Hill guy.
I like Silent Hill, don't get me wrong. The only problem that I have with Silent Hill right now is they're not doing one and they're skipping two, and that's the only thing I don't like about that. Because they're going to skip a whole freaking timeline and go straight to Pyramid Head. And I think that's wrong. People who have not played the first Silent Hill, and not watched videos on it are going to get confused, highly confused, because Silent Hill is one of those psychological games. And if you are not following from the first part up to the ending part, you are going to get straight up confused without knowing anything about that first part. But I am not going to say anything about Silent Hill because I already know about the story because I played a lot of Silent Hill back in the day, but you couldn't record on YouTube. At least when Silent Hill came out. I played Clock Tower, the first horror game that was ever produced, which is coming back out, by the way, and I will be recording on it. It was before Resident Evil. Resident Evil came out after Clock Tower, and then it was Silent Hill, and then it was Parasite Eve, and I wish they would do Parasite Eve. Oh my god, I would die. Oh yes. And I'm talking all three parts. 1, 2, and the final birthday. And when it comes to horror games, I love horror. I love my games. When it comes to horror games, I love it. But I have to make this rant because IGN and then the gamer are throwing all these you know racial issues when it comes to zombies. You know what? No, it does not need a rewrite. Capcom, you need to stand your ground. Don't bend the knee. Do not, and this is just a personal take on an artistic view, do not bend the knee. If you want to skip Resident Evil 5, okay, fine, whatever. But people have to realize these people out in the outside world, you either played the game or you have not played the game. For those who have not played the game, play the game before you make a decision whether Resident Evil 5 needs to be remade. Don't sit there and base, because there's black zombies in this game. I'm sorry, but it's part of survival. If it was to happen in real life, I don't care if you're whatever racial and ethnicity you are. You're a zombie. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's not gonna matter. You don't have feelings because you're trying to munch down on somebody else who is alive. I'm sorry. It's much like on Walking Dead. You get turned, you're done. Without me being a cop, I'd be like another Rick Grimes. I wouldn't even ask questions. Pop, done. But yes, I do feel that Resident Evil 5 does need to make a remake. Because the only thing that I do have a problem with Resident Evil 5
Exactly.
is its mechanics. It's slow, it's janky when you're turning, and it feels really tanky compared to what like the other remakes are, like Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, Resident Evil 4. I mean, those remakes, are good, and I would like to see a remake of the first one, guaranteed, of course. But yeah, Resident Evil 5, as far as the mechanics and its movability, is very tanky. But its story, phenomenal. I love Sheva. I don't know if I actually put her on the female fatale on the Twitch, but I'm pretty sure that I probably will tonight. But yeah, I love her character, and I've been following Chris ever since Resident Evil 1. Why wouldn't I like his character? It's like Ada Wong. Yeah, they did some changes with her in Part 4. I didn't really like it because it felt like Ada Wong's character when she was doing the voiceover. It felt bland. It wasn't and it's not just because it wasn't the original actress doing the voices for Ada Wong. It just the actress did not do it for me. The model, great. I love the model for Ada Wong, but it's just it felt bland when it came to Ada Wong.
Cricket mosquito.
Yeah, cricket mosquito. um, but yeah, it's like when they bring all these old characters back, and I said this about Bayonetta when they did Bayonetta 3. I was not thrilled. And then all the truth that has came out about Bayonetta 3, that yeah, Taylor was right. They did underplay her. She broke NDA for that reason. And she had every right to because they were undercutting her. Because when it came down to it and somebody else got paid for doing Bayonetta 3, guess who got undercut? The same actress who did Mass Effect, which I enjoyed Mass Effect. But when I saw videos of Bayonetta 3, oh my god, the voice cracks. She could not do Bayonetta's voice. I'm sorry. There was no way. I stand behind what I said a long time ago. Do I think that Bayonetta 1 and 2 and Bloody Fate, which is a movie, by the way, which she actually starred in, made the amount of money that they or said that she qualified for? And this is coming from the main company head himself, the
Oden.
CEO. Do I think that part made a lot of yeah, because she's only reverberating what he said. So yeah, I called out bullshit for a reason, and this is why I did it for Ubisoft. People need to wake up and stop ruining games. You need to take a stand, grow a spine, be a man or a woman, and say enough is enough. You are an artist. You are a creator. These characters are made in a light for a reason. A lot, and I'm going to say this right now, DEI and Sweet Baby are just ruining these companies. Look at what happened to Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Do I need to say any more? Do I need to say any more what's going and happening with Mortal Kombat 1 with everything that's happening between Katana and Liu Kang when they are two separate, one's from Earth from one side of the spectrum and Liu Kang's on a different set of Earth from a different type of spectrum. How did they meet unless you are going from the base story where they met at the tournament on the first or second Mortal Kombat. They fell in love. That was it. Now we have Katana on a separate Earth, Liu Kang on a separate Earth. They better find a way to tie this together because guess what? People are not following the real story of what's going on here. How did they meet up? How did they fall in love? That's not going to happen if they're from parallel universes, if they've never met. Think about it. Reptile becoming good. Okay, that's a different story because people can change. Whatever. Mortal Kombat's done. God of War's done. God of War, they send him to Egypt. I hate to say it. They send him to Egypt. They're going to chew him up and spit him out. Yes, he became a god of hope.
Mosquito cricket kimono.
Yeah, but when he became a god of hope, okay, fine. But you know what? Ares is the one that did it to him. He had the right to adjust, avenge, his wife, his daughter, and everything that he's done. He, though they play him as a bad guy, he's actually still a good guy because the gods are actually twisting his mind and manipulating him to do all of these things. Call it for what it is, not for what it isn't. I did not like Ragnarok. Yes, I still own it because I own the box set. Will I get God of War when it comes out? I'm going to do a lot of research before I get it. Santa Monica has ruined it as far as that series goes because they made Kratos soft and weak. He is not the strong individual he was. He is not the God Slayer he was. But he was a God Slayer for that reason. But there is a twist to this, however. When it
What's
comes to
Ares the god of?
God of War, when it came when it comes to God of War, one fact number one: Kratos did not kill all the gods. He did not kill all the Greek pantheon. All right, you still have other gods like Uranus, Chaos, and Chaos is going to be a big one. And there's like a whole slew of 9 other gods that weren't killed. He only killed like Hera, Ares, Hades, Zeus. Zeus is rightfully dead. He was killed by his own freaking making, by his own weapon. Hera, she had her neck snapped. Unfortunately for him, and I mean Kratos, she's going to be coming back. A lot of the Greek gods do actually heal over time. This is why the circle was made, because that's going to be the reckoning for Kratos. It's going to come back full circle because the gods are going to be back and they're going to be a lot more angrier. Aphrodite's going to come back. Hermes is going to come back. Yeah, Hercules is going to come back. They're all going to come back. Because the thing is about Greek gods, besides Zeus, Zeus is not coming back. He was killed by his own weapon of choice. But yeah, I digress. But the other ones are going to be coming back because they do heal over time. This is something about the Greek mythos that people fail to realize. Um, but yeah, it comes back full circle for Kratos. That's why the circle was made. It's not a triangle. It's not a square. It's not an oval. It's a circle for a reason. Because everything does come back full circle for him. But on to the whole thing with Resident Evil. I'm tired of these people. I mean, you want to bend the knee? Okay, fine. But know this: I am going to give my 100% a 100%, and this is for Capcom. And I've already said about not bending the knee, but do what you think is right because you are actually the artist. I get that sort of scenario. But if you make lore, and it's like going with Marvel and DC and everything else, their lore and everything was made. Look at X-Men and everything, and then you make a movie, and the movies are complete dog shit. Let's take besides Spider-Man, the three Spider-Man were actually pretty good. You take X-Men. X-Men, the first X-Men was dog shit. The second X-Men was dog shit because they ruined Archangel for one. Um, the third one was decent, but it could have done better. They
100
ruined
points.
they ruined Batman, and this is after the first one. The first one was actually pretty decent. Um, Superman, the original Superman from the 1980s, prime example of good story making. Lex Luthor, Christopher Reeve playing as Superman. It was that movie there, as far as Superman, was phenomenal. And the reason, and I don't understand why they have to make these remakes. As when you have Superman 1, 2, I think he also did 3, and I think 3 is the one where he ended up having his accident and stuff like that. But that I can't remember if he's dead or not, but that man's got to be rolling in his grave. He's got to be, if he is, because they are making a mockery of Superman. And Dwayne the Rock Johnson trying to take the spotlight from Superman to become the leader of the Justice League. What?
Face blue white eyes.
This is why he's losing a lot of fan base because not only is he a liar, but he's also a manipulator. And I never liked The Rock, and I never will. And especially everything that's going on and you know and happening. No, just Hawaii, dude.
There's a Starman thumbs up.
Huh. It's like I said in the past. There is a bigger picture for everything. DEI is ruining games. I am glad. I am freaking glad that Square said no and told DEI to hit the bricks, especially with Final Fantasy Rebirth. I praise them, and with them being, a Japanese company, I'll tip my hat and bow to any dev that's made that game. They deserve the respect. And this goes exactly for Capcom if they do the same thing. You either take support from the majority and take away the minority, or you don't make money by making a game for the minority and the majority leave you. Which one is going to garner you more money? I think the majority. The majority want a Resident Evil 5 remake. The majority want Resident Evil 5 intact the way it is, the way it's supposed to be. Who cares about these snowflakes who want black zombies not dying because they think that black zombies in Resident Evil 5, who are played by actors,
That's
have
what you said
feelings?
about if you're playing Subnautica 3 lol.
Yeah, yeah. I just like that, I'm going to do my homework when it comes to Subnautica 3. But yeah, I wanted to fill in basically the blanks of why I wasn't going to be playing Subnautica 3 because I'm going to do my homework. But yeah, you guys, you companies, sweet Santa Monica, Capcom, Final Fantasy, I have nothing to say about that because you got rid of your DEI. Ubisoft, you failed so much after Assassin's Creed. There's no coming back. There's no coming back. After the first Assassin's Creed, you went downhill so fast. It's only making your head spin. And now that you have Mortarfest out, and it's only being like what, not even a year, and it's being charged for you could play it for $20. It shows the proof of the reasoning that you're at fault for listening to DEI instead of making the game that you were meant to do in the long run to last a long time, to make people feel happy, to play your game. You ruined your lore with Assassin's Creed. You tried to make up for it with Assassin's Creed Mirage, and it failed. EA, this is the same thing for EA. Battlefield. Battlefield 1, 2, 3. Hardlines was okay, but it wasn't the best. Battlefield 3 was your best game. Battlefield 3 was your best game. And for the other viewer, yes, this is a little rant, but yeah, just stick with me here. Battlefield 3, Battlefield 1, the original Battlefield 1, not the Battlefield 1 that is labeled Battlefield 1. Were their
Risk, risk,
best
tisk.
games. Yeah, yeah. Hardline was not that good. It had really good, demolishing effects, stuff like that, but story, no. Battlefield 1, 1942, Battlefield 3. Those were your three best. And now you're going to go from to single player to online to just live stream. That is the biggest mistake you will ever make in your life. And I'm going to keep that 100% from now until that game is released. I'm sorry. I hope that Gorilla takes this also cue. That they do, if they do another Killzone, or if they team up and do a SOCOM with it and work together, that they actually do SOCOM right. Because I do want to see another SOCOM game come out. It's been a very long time, and a lot of people do want to see another SOCOM come out. This is my little also rant to Crystal Dynamics. You took somebody's character, which you had the rights to make, and this is pertaining to Lara Croft. You took somebody's beloved character, which somebody else created, and this isn't the person who made the costumes. This isn't the person who made the skin. This isn't the person who made the model. This isn't the person,
I
the
don't know why,
person.
but you remind me of Penguins Zero.
Eh, eh. But this is to the person who is a female who originally created Lara Croft back in the OG day when Lara Croft was coming to light. Lara Croft, Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3. I have to agree with Melanie Mack on this that they have screwed the pooch when it comes to Lara Croft. I will stick to the guns on that, and I will state it like I do Star Wars. The first three were the best and will always be the best. I have played the other three, and they are trash. I would advise anybody, unless you're a woke ideology snowflake, to stay away from those three. The first three Tomb Raiders were the best. And now that Aspire has the rights to Lara Croft, this is my message to Aspire. Do it justice, do it right, or you will lose your fan base. This is also going to go to Soul Reaver and Legacy of Kain, Crystal Dynamics. You don't do that game right, you are done. Do you realize how many Legacy of Kain fans there are out there in the world? There are a lot. And I do mean a lot. That game comes out, and I will be picking through it like a fine-tooth comb for a reason, because I know the story and the lore of Legacy of Kain. Raziel, Duma, the Elder One, Kain. Do I need to go any further? Uma. Uma from Deception 2. Or Blood Omen 2. Deception Deception came out after Blood Omen 2. Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver 2. Well, actually, Legacy of Kain, Blood Omen, Soul Reaver, Soul Reaver 2, Blood Omen 2, Defiance. I know them by name, and I know every single character and storyline and lore within it. And I will be doing my homework when it comes to that game. Lollipop Chainsaw, I have nothing, because they are doing it right. They are saying, or I should say, giving the proverbial message of the middle finger up to all these DEI characters out there. They are not rewriting the story. They are not changing anything when Lollipop Chainsaw Repop comes out. And they are keeping it 100% to what it was when it came out on PS3. I applaud them, and I wish more companies would do this. Because you are taking a firm stance when it comes to your company doing the right thing for the majority, not the minority. Other than that, I will be recording Resident Evil 5 tomorrow. If anybody wants to come and watch, you are more than welcome to. But I need to get this off of my chest, because if it doesn't, then I'm going to end up foobarring it up tomorrow. So yes, I do think that Resident Evil 5 does need a remake. And I do stand out of the so many plethora of people who do want to see a remake from Resident Evil 5. That yes, if you are in Africa and you are hit with a zombie plague, people are going to kill you.
Mousetrap.
End of story. Though it is a fantasy sci-fi related thing, it's not likely going to happen. But if it does, out of the miracle of God, it's either survive or be killed. And I think people are going to be choosing the option to survive. Other than that, I'm out of here. I've made my point known, and I will see you all tomorrow for some Resident Evil 5. And for those chills who do not like me posting or making a video on Resident Evil 5, imagine this: a middle finger in your face, because I don't care. Enjoy. Have a good
When you're
day.
recording, I have school.
Uh, Same time as tonight, so it'll be around 5, 6, 7 Central Time. But yeah, understand that I do stand with artists. I do stand with people who understand lore and want to keep lore the way it is intact, and I will stand with them 100%. But if you are a game company that
Mousetrap.
bends the knee, yep. But if you are a company that bends the knee, takes it up the ass, just like everybody else, I will not support you. I will not buy your game, and the majority will win, and your company will go under. Just going to keep it 100% real. Like me, hate me, I don't care. I'm not here. I'm not here to make you know be famous, wanting the spotlight. But I'm just telling you how it is. It's base fact opinion. But yeah, I will be recording Resident Evil 5 tomorrow, whether you like it or not. Latest. Have a good one.